There comes a time in every man's life when silence speaks louder than words. When you stop chasing explanations, stop begging to be understood, and simply let your presence do the talking. Because somewhere along the way, you learned not everyone who says they love you will stay when things get dark. And that's not a reason to harden your heart. It's a reason to strengthen your soul. You see, in a world addicted to validation, peace has become the rarest form of power. Everyone wants to be seen, liked, admired, but few know how to be still, how to stand tall when everything inside you is shaking. Masculine calm isn't passive. It's not apathy or emotional numbness. It's controlled fire, contained power. The ability to hold chaos without becoming it. And that's what most men miss. They think strength means being loud, proving something, forcing respect. But real strength? It's quiet. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't need to. A calm man in a chaotic world becomes magnetic. He doesn't demand attention. Attention naturally finds him, because his presence, his stillness, his self-control all speak the language of certainty in a world that's forgotten what that means. But here's where it gets harder. We live in an age where loyalty feels like a myth. Social media, dating apps, and endless digital temptation have changed everything. A man's value is no longer measured by his character, but by his image, his status, his momentary appeal. And while you're out here building, fighting, bleeding for your goals, someone else is always waiting in her dream is smoother, flashier, more exciting. So ask yourself, brother, when the dust settles and your world shakes, who really stands beside you? Most won't, because today, loyalty has conditions. Women are told not to settle. They're taught that love should be easy, comfortable, always exciting. But love that never struggles, never deepens. A woman who can't stay through your storm doesn't deserve your sunshine. Because loyalty isn't about standing next to you when you win. It's about holding the line when you're bleeding. This is where most men get lost. They confuse attention for affection, validation for devotion. But the truth is simple. If she can only love you when it's easy, she never loved you. She loved what being with you gave her. And when that benefit fades, she leaves not because she's cruel, but because that's how modern love is designed. Transactional, conditional, temporary. So what do? You stop begging for loyalty. You start embodying it. You become the man who can stand alone, who doesn't crumble when people walk away. Because when you can face solitude without fear, you become unshakable. Here's the brutal truth, brother. Most women's loyalty lasts until your last good day. When the applause fades, when the winds slow down, when the world stops cheering, that's when you see her true heart. Social media made it worse. Now every woman has a million invisible admirers. A constant stream of attention, validation, what ifs. And attention is the new currency. Why stay with a man who's struggling when she can swipe her way to someone who seems stronger, richer, or more exciting? Why help rebuild a sinking ship when another yacht is already waiting with champagne and comfort? She won't call it betrayal. She'll call it growth. Your pain becomes her motivation. Your fall becomes her freedom. And you? You become the man she outgrew. But don't let that break you. Let it awaken you. Because the real loss isn't her leaving. It's you believing that you weren't enough. That's the lie that destroys men, the illusion that your worth depends on who stays. You were always enough. But sometimes life has to take everything away from you to show you that your power was never in what you had, was in who you were becoming. So let her go. Let her chase what glitters. Because real gold doesn't shine. It endures pressure. When the noise fades and the illusions collapse, she'll remember the one thing she can't replace, the man who stayed grounded when everyone else was drifting. One day, you'll stop waiting for loyalty. You'll stop begging for someone to stay. Because you'll realize you were never meant to be chosen. You were meant to choose. A man who understands his worth doesn't chase love, he filters it. He doesn't ask, will she stay if I fall? He asks, can she stand beside me when I rise again? True loyalty isn't tested in your success. It's revealed in your silence, your losses, your pain. When everything collapses and the world stops clapping, that's when truth shows itself. Find the one who doesn't flinch in her storms. Her presence will feel like peace, not excitement, because she won't be attracted to your image. She'll be connected to your essence. That's when you stop performing. You stop explaining, you stop proving. You simply exist calmly, powerfully, and unapologetically. Because the goal isn't to find someone who completes you. It's to become the man who's already complete, so that anyone who stands beside you isn't your source of strength, but a reflection of it. When you reach that point, you'll understand peace was the power you were searching for all along. This peace does not come from approval, accolades, or external validation. It is not handed to you in the form of a relationship, a promotion, or a fleeting moment of recognition. True peace comes from mastery over oneself. It comes from understanding the depths of your own mind and embracing the reality that your worth is inherent, not conditional. Being complete is not a final destination. It is a continuous process. It is a continuous process. It's waking up every morning and choosing to cultivate your body, your mind, and your soul, even when no one is watching. It's understanding that discipline is not punishment, but liberation. Every habit you build, every skill you hone, every moment you spend in introspection strengthens the foundation of your character. You begin to realize that no external force can unbalance you, because your equilibrium is internal. When a man becomes complete, he doesn't seek love to fill a void. He shares it as an overflow. He doesn't lean on someone to define his worth. He stands tall in his own understanding of it. People are not lifelines, they are mirrors. They reflect the energy you radiate, the presence you embody. And in seeing that reflection, they are inspired, not because you are dependent, but because you are whole. Completeness is quiet. It does not scream for attention or demand acknowledgement. It sits in stillness, yet its power is unmistakable. It is in the calm demeanor of a man who has faced his fears and emerged intact. It is in the patience he shows when others are rushed, in the compassion he offers without expectation, in the confidence that does not need validation. The world may try to impose chaos, but he remains unmoved, a lighthouse amidst the storm. This is why the search for someone to complete you is inherently misguided. Relationships that thrive on dependency are brittle. They crack under pressure. But relationships built between two whole individuals are unbreakable. They grow stronger because they are not burdened with filling voids. They exist as a celebration of two complete lives intertwining, not as a desperate attempt to repair one another. Understanding this requires confronting uncomfortable truths. It requires acknowledging every insecurity, every fear, and every shadow within yourself. It is easy to blame others for your dissatisfaction, to wait for someone else to bring meaning to your life. But true growth begins when you stop looking outward and start examining inward. When you do, you'll see that the very thing you sought in others was always within you. Courage, resilience, compassion, and clarity. The journey to completeness is neither linear nor easy. Here will be moments of doubt, moments when old habits of dependency resurface, moments when loneliness feels unbearable. But these are not signs of failure. They are reminders that the work is ongoing. Each challenge is an opportunity to deepen your understanding of yourself, to refine your inner compass, and to solidify the foundation upon which your life stands. As you continue, you begin to notice subtle shifts. Your interactions become richer, not because you are seeking them to be, but because you bring a whole self into them. Your presence becomes magnetic, not through superficial charm, but through authenticity and steadiness. You notice that peace, once elusive, now pulses through every aspect of your life. Decisions are made with clarity, emotions are experienced without being controlled by them, and joy becomes a natural byproduct of alignment with your true self. Eventually, you realize that life's greatest power is not control over others, wealth, or status. It is mastery over yourself. The man who is complete does not react with desperation or fear. He responds with awareness. He does not chase approval. He radiates integrity. He does not seek to conquer the world. He seeks to understand it, and in doing so, he navigates it with grace. And when the right person enters his life, he does not cling, nor does he rely. He stands firm in his peace, and in that quiet confidence, he offers love that is generous and unshakable. This is the love that does not suffocate, that does not demand, that does not falter. It is a reflection, not a necessity. In the end, the journey to becoming complete teaches a fundamental truth power to shape your life has always been yours. Every choice, every action, every thought either builds or diminishes your wholeness. There is no shortcut, no external magic, no hidden formula. There is only the relentless, patient, unwavering commitment to becoming the man who stands as his own foundation, unwavering in the storm, calm in the chaos, and radiant in the quiet strength that only completeness can bring out. And when you finally embrace this, you will no longer search for power or peace outside yourself. You will carry it with you, unshakable, unyielding, and eternal.